Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen, for the final time this weekend under the Hněvín Castle, the beautiful scenery around Autodrom Most. It is time to complete the Sunday's program of this weekend. It's the second race of the Renault Twingo Cup. Cars already on the formation lap, getting ready for their starting procedure. We have got 16 of them in the field, so plenty of action awaiting us once again. We had a wonderful race, number one, earlier on today to actually start the program with, and it was everything that we were expecting from Renault Twingos. It was actually a wet race back then. Since then, the rain has stopped and the track has dried up. However, it's been slightly drizzling in the last couple of minutes once again, so who knows what this race brings to us. We had lots of overtaking, some bumps and hits, and some spinning, some cars in the gravel. So pretty much all the action that you want from the Twingos. It already looks almost as if they started racing, but you know, these cars aren't very quick. So basically them getting ready, even driving to the grid, sort of already looks like they're racing. The pace being rather similar, but still we are about to start in just a couple of seconds. We've got the grid order: Mihailo Mladenovic on pole position, alongside him Rok Cerar, row number 2 Luka Glaser and Miha Fabian. In fifth, Marko Blaževský, alongside him Nick Poljanec, behind them Bojan Petruševský, Jakaš Tuflek, Mitja Velkavrch and Mihailo Milenkovic completing the top 10. And behind them Anton Jus, Muris Hamzic, Nikola Jančić, Vladimír Trenesky, Bojan Šeme and Branko Rafailovsky. Cars returning back to the starting grid to assume their grid positions before we'll see the green flag in the air for the final time, the red lights for the final time, and then we will have the last 25 minutes of racing action for this weekend. So the red lights are on, the red lights are off, and we are racing here in the Czech Republic. Mihailo Mladenovic from pole position. Rok Cerar making a rather slower getaway and coming immediately under pressure from Luka Glaser. But they are now slipstreaming behind one another, so getting closer for the first chicane. Cerar careful under braking. Mladenovic into the first corner in the lead. Everyone seems to be safely through. Some cars already finding gravel, quite a lot of them actually, 4 of them actually off the track in that tricky second part of the chicane that's actually even tighter than the right-hander part. So some drivers caught out by that. The car number 901, which is, who is that? One of the cars actually remained on the grid. That was Branko Rafailovsky from 16th. He stalled on the grid and didn't get going, so he's now being pushed back into the pits, and we'll see if he can restart his race from there. The rest of the pack on the other side already, and we have got Mladenovic still in the lead from Cerar. Miha Fabian fell down behind Luka Glaser, so he's following him from 4th. And then we have got, is that Marko Blaževský? Yes, he is in the 5th place. That predominantly red car, and through the quick right-hander they go. There is Mladenovic from Rok Cerar, Luka Glaser and Miha Fabian, and they are shaping up to be the leading group, the top 4. Then there's a bit of a gap already to 5th placed Marko Blaževský, behind him Nick Poljanec, Bojan Petruševský and Jakaš Tuflek. Along the back straight we go. And the last couple of corners now to negotiate to complete the lap number 1. Ooh, some smoke already here and there. Little bit of contact in the field. This is a contact sport, definitely. And around the final corner we go. This is the bump drafting battle the car number 704 of Mihailo Mladenovic in the lead from Rok Cerar. Glaser being pushed by Miha Fabian. There is Bojan Šemer and Vladimir Trenesky actually in that colourful car. Fights in the top four, unraveling. Miha Fabian using that mistake from Luka Glaser and moving up the order. He comes to third. Mladenovic somehow survived the opening lap and did not really give the first place to anyone, and he still remains in the lead. They were clever together with Rok Cerar as they overtook Miha Fabian in the first race today, and they chose a different line and simply robbed Miha Fabian of the first spot. We also had Luka Grm starting from pole, but he was off on the opening lap already. Now he's in 8th. Car number 733, that's him, trying to explore what the grass has to offer and make his track a little bit wider for himself. So that is dropping then Marko Blaževský a little further down. There is also Bojan Petruševský together with them in the mix. And Luka Glaser seems to be losing touch with the leading group. Mladenovic still leading from Cerar. I can't really remember the last time I saw somebody lead the race being inside a contact group and not losing the lead for 2 or more laps. So what Mladenovic has done so far is absolutely amazing. But still, more than 20 minutes left on the clock. It's still going to be quite a long race. There is Blaževský back in 5th from Luka Grm, and they are pushing each other towards the front pack. Behind them it is Nick Polianec and Mihailo Milenkovic. That's the second 4, and they are they are about to suck in that blue and red car of Luka Glaser, because he lost touch with the leading group and he is now being vacuumed by the second group. Mladenovic still leading from Cerar and Miha Fabian. Fabian sticking his car around the outside into that fast right-hander. Is he going to be successful or not? This is not a corner where you can normally stick 2 cars side by side. Both of them have to lift off a little bit more than they normally would. And Miha Fabian is through. Amazing stuff around the outside into the quick right-hander. What a move by Miha Fabian. So it was raining a couple of minutes back, let's say, or a couple of minutes before the race start, but the rain was actually very, very light, and it stopped already, so the track is still dry. Mladenovic still leading from the start. How about now? Miha Fabian sticking his car down the inside on Mladenovic, and they will go side by side through the last couple of corners. Miha Fabian getting ahead and snatching the lead from Mladenovic. He does not want to allow that, and he sprints ahead again. But Fabian is being pushed from behind by Rok Cerar, and into the lead they go. Mladenovic slotting behind into 3rd. And from behind we also have Luka Grm already up to 4th. And he is now becoming part of this group together with Luka Glaser. So Luka Grm split away from the four-strong group that he was part of, and connected with Luca Glaser, who was actually dropping from the top four, and they reconnected together and helped each other, supported each other in their quest to catch back with the leading group, and that's exactly what they did. Miha Fabian in the lead, Mladenovic back up to second at least, Rok Cerar demoted back to third from Luka Grm and Luca Glaser. Little plumes of smoke from the front right, and a little lock-up by Luca Glaser. Nothing to be too worried about. And we keep going. The fastest lap actually set by Luca Grm right now, 2:14.6. And he was a whopping 2.5 seconds faster than the race leaders. So they really caught up with them very, very quickly. This is a beautiful view of the Autodrom Most. And through the right-hander we go. This is the leading pack. 5-strong group. Led again by Mladenovic, who has somehow slipped in front of Miha Fabian again. Fabian trying to have a go around the outside. He finds space there. So side by side they come towards the start and finish straight yet again. Just under 16 minutes left on the clock, and this is going to be a big bum drafting battle. Sort of a quartet and team sport right now. So it's Mladenovic down the inside, Fabian round the outside, Luca Grm trying to shape up for a move as well. Ah, there's a bit of a hit there. Fabian needs to go off throttle a little bit. Luca Glaser then coming into the mix, and 3 wide they go now, out of the first chicane. Fantastic stuff. And it's still Mladenovic in the lead. Amazing job he's been doing in this race so far. It's Rok Cerar behind him in second, and Luca Grm up to third. This morning's pole sitter, who lost it all on the opening lap when he beached his car in the gravel, he has got all to play for, and he needs to make up for the lost ground in the first race earlier on today. He started in P8 today, but he's already worked his way up to third, and he's showing his speed that he has here at Most. Further down the field, Marko Blaževský in 6th from Nick Poljanec and Bojan Petruševský. And completing the top 10 are Bojan Šeme and Vladimír Tranesky currently. Mladenovic, and look at Luca Grm round the outside on Miha Fabian. No, sorry, on Rok Cerar. Miha Fabian is further down in 4th now in the clutches of Luca Glaser. And Luca Grm for the lead of the race. The erstwhile pole sitter is now taking the lead in this race as we're slowly approaching the halfway mark of it. Wonderful stuff from Luca Grm, and he's already celebrating inside of his car. This was a good move, and he is now leading the race. But Mladenovic is not going to give it to him for free. And they are pushing each other along the pit straight. Absolutely nothing between them. You couldn't even stick a sheet of paper between the two cars. That would get all crumpled. How about under braking? Mladenovic detaching himself a little bit, and into the first corner they go. Luca Grm in the lead again. Rok Cerar dropping behind a little bit, and he's now together with Miha Fabian in that pale blue Twingo. These are the leaders, car 733, driven by Luca Grm. and Mihailo Mladenovic, the car number 704. Fabian attacking Rokcerar, and ahead he goes. Luka Glaser yet again not really being able to stick together with the group and dropping behind. Grm in the meanwhile is leading, but he's under huge pressure from Mladenovic. Along the back straight they go. Into the final two again, gesticulating to one another inside their cars. These are the race leaders now, using every single millimeter of the track, and even a little bit more than that. This is a strong group led by Marko Blaževský in that red car, and he's now being attacked by Nick Polianec, and from the other side by Bojan Petruševský. 3 abreast into the first chicane. Petruševský snatching 2 places at once. Polianec remaining the last one in this group. Marko Blaževský dropping, and it's P7 right now. Mladenovic in the lead, ahead of Luka Grm. We have Fabian behind them in third. So the orders have changed once again in the race lead, as we've just dropped under 10 minutes from home. Last 10 minutes of this racing weekend. And through the right-handers, Mladenovic and Rokcerar finding gravel in the second to last corner. We have got yellow flags there in between the last couple of corners. What happened to Cerar? Has he exited the gravel as well? But now we've got a massive fight for the race lead. Mladenovic demoted back to third, and it's Fabian side by side with Luka Grm. Lock up from Mladenovic. Miha Fabian returning back to the head of the race. He's now the new race leader from Luka Grm and Mihailo Mladenovic. And let's see who comes out on top of this one. It seems as though this trio is going to be the one that is going to fight for the race victory. We're going to have to wait and see if Rokcerar still manages to get back in touch with them. He was part of this group once, but he's dropped behind already. All of the Twingos really cornering flat out. Fabian in the lead. Luka Grm together with him. Mladenovic behind. They all swapped places completely yet again. And around the final corner we go. Onto the start and finish straight. Only a couple of laps left in this race. I would assume 3 maximum, yes. It's going to be tight, but it might be the last 3 laps of this race. This is Luka Glaser in the blue, white and red car. The white car that is actually Bojan Petruševský, and behind them Marko Blaževský in that predominantly red one. Fabian still in the lead. He has not lost that place to Grm. And Mladenovic dropping down a little bit. He has to work hard to actually stay together with the rest of the pack. Really try to go on throttle as soon as possible. Great stuff from them. Five and a half minutes left. Fabian leading. Luka Grm together with him. It looks like Mladenovic is sort of losing breath now and losing touch. He's got one of his last chances to actually get back together with them. Also, Rok Cerar, he's already dropped. He's way over 6 seconds behind Mladenovic even. So he's even losing the sight of the leading cars. Mladenovic still trying to claw something back from this. But it's not easy because the leading 2 cars can now help each other with a nice bump draft along the main straight, onto which we go again. It's going to be really tight. We might just have 3 more laps on our hands. Depends on the lap times. 2:14 again. So this should theoretically give us still 2 laps. Petruševský under pressure from Blaževský along the pit straight. Fabian still leading from Grm. And again, Mihailo Mladenovic was slower than the leading pair, and it cost him a couple of tenths yet again. 4 minutes left right now. Even though the Renault Twingo Cup is centrally prepared mostly, there are a couple of privateers. We've got teams anyway, so this is basically currently shaping up to be a 1-2 for the BA Motorsport, with Mladenovic in the colors of Ravenol team. So the time is still ticking away. Mladenovic losing yet more ground. He's 1.2 seconds away, or he was, across the line, while the race leaders are just 1/10 apart. And Mladenovic is really not managing to stay in the fight for the race lead. So, We did laps in 2:14, and we're crossing the line with 2 minutes 20 seconds left. So basically we should still have 2 laps. Let's see what we have right now. Fabian under pressure, they were pushing each other. There is Marko Blaževský piling the pressure on and actually hitting Petruševský from behind. This is the fight for 5th currently. Blaževský lining up for a move, and Blaževský goes into the lead of the into the lead of this group. So he climbs back to 5th. Glaser behind them in 7th, and they are still having Rokcerar in their sights. Couple more similar fights up and down the field. Currently along the pit straight go Mitja Velkavrch and Nikola Jančič. That's them. Velkavrch overtaking Jančič for 13th. So let's go back and find the race leaders. There they are, and Miha Fabian still in the lead. He's been in the lead for a couple of laps already, and he's not dropped it. Luka Grm still in close second. It's still okay with him. It's still okay for him if he just remains in touch like this and then launches an attack. But does he know that they are on the penultimate lap, or does he think that this is the final lap? Because we've still got 30 seconds left, and we might just cross the line with about 5-10 seconds to spare. So there is another lap to be had in this race. There they go around the final corner, but do they know about that? No checkered flag flying. No checkered flag being waved. And with about 5 seconds, we're crossing the line onto the final lap. The time is up now, and this is the final one. This is the fight for the race victory. Little touch between the BA Motorsport cars. Miha Fabian keeping the race lead from his teammate Luka Grm. Let's not forget, Luka Grm started in P8, worked his way up through the field, and manages to be one of the 2 drivers actually fighting it out for the race victory. Mihailo Mladenovic still not in touch with these 2, trying it hard, but actually losing 10th by 10th, and he sees the gap increase. Fabian in the lead, trying to use the full width of the track. The picture seems to be sort of getting darker and darker. Is it gonna rain in the final meters of the track? That would be quite interesting. There are drops here and there, maybe. Oh, Fabian a little out of position. Luka Grm trying to line up for a move. Mladenovic following in 3rd, but already 2 seconds adrift. So it's now only exclusively between the BA Motorsport cars. Grm trying to find his way through. Fabian blocking him in the process. Only 2 corners left for Miha Fabian and Luka Grm lining up side by side. They are now going alongside each other, so there is a fight for the race victory after all. Who is going to come out on top? They are coming side by side through the last corner. Fabian a little ahead, but how about Luka Grm? He's gaining speed and he's pulling ahead. They even have a bump between them. This is going to be a photo finish of the B8 Motorsport guys. Who won? I have no idea who won. 0, 0, 0, 0. Who won? Seriously. Mihailo Mladenovic coming 3rd. That's the first thing we know. Rokcerar 4th, Blaževský 5th. There he goes actually. Marko Blaževský defending the 5th place from Luka Glaser. Poljanec behind them, Petruševský, Šeme and Trenesky completing the top 10. But who the heck won this race? I mean, we already had an interesting situation earlier on in the GT sprint when in the GTC class, actually the live timing clocked Matěj Pavlíček ahead of Denis Vašek, but then it was actually, and it is raining. It seriously is raining. The guys have the windscreen wipers on. Yeah, we have had a similar situation already in the GT sprint, but then it was discovered that actually the transponders were in different places in each of the cars, and the photo finish or the photography revealed that it was actually Denis Vašek a little further ahead, so he was given the victory. And for that reason, I am refusing to believe whatever the live timing is telling me now. It says that Michał Fabian has won from Luka Grm, but this is going to be down to the last photography, and it is raining. Is it not? Let's see that again. Let's see that again. Who won? I have no idea. Honestly. Who won? You tell me. This is it's amazing. It started to rain. I mean, yeah, the last race, and it's raining heavier now. It suddenly actually started to rain quite heavily, but after the race is finished, okay, so the rain didn't actually even mix up the race. It's going to soak the podium. But who won? I mean, the live timing says it's Michał Fabian, so he probably is, but we're still going to have to wait for the last picture. Not sure we can even get it now like this. So with the fact that I have no idea what to tell you, we can actually end the day with that. So yeah, I thought that by this point I would have already told you everything, but I can't tell you who won. Both of them probably, yeah. Let's just weld the cars together and say that both of them won. I have no idea what to do now. This is beautiful, beautiful stuff. There's absolutely nothing between them. And, you know, with the photo finish of the GT sprint, I was somewhere in the back of my mind, I was sure that it was actually Denis Vašek a little ahead. But here, come on. Who is ahead? Who is ahead? This is amazing stuff. I mean, it's just, let's leave it open. Let's leave it as it is. Why not? Shall we? Because yeah, it's just with the rain pouring now. What an exciting way! What a crazy way to top off this beautiful, beautiful racing weekend here in Most under the Hněvín Castle. Fantastic stuff. Let me just tell you something that I do know, and that is where to go next now, because the ESET Cup series continues in 2 weeks' time in Slovakia, but not for all championships. Some of them have already had their rounds, or their Slovakian round. So we will have the GTs. We will also have the TWINGO Cup. We will also have some Formula cars. But for example, Eastern European TCR has already done its Slovakian round. So has the Formula 4. Either way, Michał Fabian currently proclaimed as the race winner by 0.000 nothing from Luka Grm. Whatever the picture decides now, we can't really tell, but for us this has been, it couldn't be more exciting than this. So with that, I guess that's the best way to top off the program and simply go home. I thank you very much for watching, and we're really excited that that you're continuing to support our live stream, and you're together with us enjoying all of the racing. We've got various championships, and it's great to get together again. Fantastic stuff, and we just can't wait for more in 2 weeks' time in Slovakia. So with that, it is a proper send-off, and let's reunite in 2 weeks' time just outside Bratislava at the Slovakia ring, and let's have a little taster of that.